There we go. Now it's recording.
Okay. All right. Call to order. Pledge of allegiance, please, everybody. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. Roll call. Board members. Mark.
Here.
Gene.
Here.
Angie.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Yes, we
Approval, I'd like a motion and a second for the approval of the minutes of the regular board meeting on 7/13 and 7/25.
I move we approve the minutes for July 13th.
A second.
1:30.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, board members report. Angie, anything?
No, nothing is not on the agenda.
Okay, Gene?
Okay, traders report. I looked at the water loss, which was 41%, which is about what we've been
It's
doing.
kind of normal.
43%. I was looking at, we have a note here, last year was 21%. That was for this month. It was an anomaly. We didn't have 21% last year. It probably averaged 41, just like it was last. So that really hasn't changed. In our accounts, the checking account is $21,384.58, which is about right. Savings, we got about $10,000. That's been unchanged for a long, long time. And under capital improvement, $40,000, and that's unchanged for a long, long time. The debt reserve is at $34,131.42, which is right about where it should be and where it's been for a long, long time. Looking at the budget and how we've done from one month to the next, we're still looking pretty good. We're still in that part of the budget where we're expecting. I don't even have it. When I looked at it before, oh, here it is. Yeah. When we looked at it, we're running on paper, and realize too that a report, a balance sheet like this is just a slice in time. So you kind of have to know history and future and a few other things when you read them. It shows technically about a $2,000 decrease in the checking account from last month. But this is a slice in time, so when you look at the later figures, you'll find out that is right in where it belongs. So.
Plus those expenditures.
What's that?
Plus those expenditures that I listed on that report.
We've got, our billings, we've got about 12,000 out that are coming in, or that's being billed. So we're about right. And in other words, there's nothing spectacular.
Yeah, okay, cool. Very good, thank you. Mark?
The only thing I'd like to bring up is that I'm going to be putting off renting that GPS until we get further information about our funds.
Yeah, that's fine. That's just kind of going to go, when we do it, we do it.
Why do it twice?
Yeah, no, we don't need to have that expenditure twice.
Yep.
How much is that? I forget.
The cheapest would be about $1,000 now.
Okay, that's fine. That's why I thought you said about 1,000, so.
That's me donating my time, that's just rental.
Yeah, no, that's fine. Okay, all right, cool. Okay, thank you guys, girls. Manager's report, Ms. Kathy.
All right. I kind of updated you guys in the email that I sent out, but I'm just going to quickly go over those items for public consumption. The shed has been rescheduled due to weather concerns. It just happened they wanted it to deliver it on the day we had that horrible storm, so they canceled on that, so it's rescheduled for the 16th. So the boys have kind of put off, they did kind of consolidate stuff in the yard, but they haven't moved it yet because they know they're going to just be putting it in the shed. So when the shed gets here on the 16th, then they'll get that stuff moved out and get the yard cleaned up a little bit. I have been in contact with the Mardians. I don't know if I told you that, but they were very, very excited to hear from me. Since we heard back that we can go ahead and add them to the district, I went ahead and let them know, but that I needed to do some more research before I gave them the particulars on it. After reviewing the rules, it looks like they need to submit a petition with the particulars involved and plot, something like that. And they have to submit that to us. We also need to get approval from any municipalities within 6 miles. I'm thinking that the only ones that that's really going to affect is Sohi. I'm not sure what the verbiage is going to be in order to get that approval. I was going to look a little bit into that. I'm assuming I could probably just send them, they're a pretty informal organization as well, so maybe I could just send them an email saying, do you guys have a problem with this? But then I don't want to get us into trouble, so maybe I should do a little bit more research on that. I don't know.
Let me ask you one question. Where is this company on their permit process, their
The Guardian?
drawings,
Have they secured the land?
Yes, they have the land, the land's in their name.
Okay.
I've checked that out,
Okay.
that's as
All
far as I
right.
could find it.
I just wondered where they were with the
Yes,
permit
Torride-
process, which is going to be
Torride
lengthy,
LLC.
because they're putting in
I have a map
fuel
of that.
tanks.
Oh, that's who that
Yeah, they have
is.
they have a whole section.
Yeah, I know, I
Close,
saw
it's
that.
like
I was
it's
looking
like-
up to see, yeah,
Yeah.
I saw
Okay,
it,
It's like
yeah.
577 acres.
Yeah, well,
Really?
sure.
Okay, yeah. because they're going to have some problems with their permit
Yeah.
process, I'm sure. Maybe not problems, but it's going to take a while.
Oh, it's gonna take a while. They have,
Yeah.
I have their contact info for their water lawyer and all that stuff.
Yeah, okay, all right, well, that's fine. I was just curious where they were.
Yeah, I'm not sure.
Yeah, so we're not looking at tomorrow.
Oh, no. I don't think so.
I was just gonna forward on to them a PDF of the information that we got of what needs to happen so that they have documentation and then they can start their process while we do our process. And hopefully within the next month or two, we'll be able to start working on it, depending on how long it takes for all that stuff to go through. I'm not sure if Sohi is gonna need to have a board meeting, and so that sometimes,
Yeah, probably.
sometimes we'll put it off
I think
depending
we
on
would.
their meeting
Yeah.
schedules.
Yeah, so,
Okay, I did briefly want to say that this last month was a nightmare. You guys kind of know about that. I am going to be changing the policy. We don't have policy on providing paperwork, but I'm gonna put that in our policies that I'd like to have not to exceed 30 days. Most of the time I won't need a whole month to put together paperwork, but I want to have that option if it's a lot of paperwork again. So I'm going to go ahead and get that into the policies. Hopefully it'll only take me 5 days for stuff, but you know. Let's see, that was that. As per her usual awesome self, I'm just going to say this again publicly because I want to. Reen really came through for me again with the USDA loan instead of taking the time to go over it with me. She just, I provided her with all the reports that were necessary and she put together the management report, which is in your folder. And you guys need to approve that in this meeting. There's a couple items that I was a little bit unsure about, but she said she'll go over all that stuff with me. She's double checked all the work and all that because, you know, Reen is Reen. She also went over our year-end reports in RBS and QuickBooks and made sure that I was still on track and that I hadn't made any huge mistakes. So, yay. Long distance hug, Reen. April is still working on coordinating for us a seminar. The rules keep changing and she's having difficulty with some of the smaller districts getting them to give her numbers on how many people would be participating. Also, she's trying to work with the engineer in her office about coordinating a meeting room, but there's some liabilities or something involved and he hasn't had a chance to get back to her. So she's kind of working on it. I know we're not in any huge rush, but I just wanted to give you an update. And both contracts have not been sent back. I do not have a CDBG contract sent back to us, and I don't have an ARPA contract signed and sent back to us. We've provided them our copy, we just are waiting for theirs, so I have a note to follow up on that tomorrow. And that's the end of my report.
okay, thank you very much. Okay, we'll move on to old business. Item 8 is just what Kathy talked about. April's working on a plan for us to have a a seminar type thing, and that's just gonna continue until it happens. We're not in any great giant rush for this, but, and April's working on it, and it will come when it comes.
So motion to keep it on the agenda then? Is that what
Yeah,
we're
let's
doing?
keep it on the agenda. Likewise, let's keep the discussion for the retracted version of the emergency response plan on the old business. We're still working on that, and that will come when it comes.
Finished it today.
Huh?
I almost finished it today.
Okay, all right, so maybe by next month we'll have that,
Okay, I still need motions on both of them though.
so we can approve it.
I
Yeah.
move we keep the lead and copper compliance stuff on the agenda.
Yeah.
It's old business.
As old business. Both of these items can just stay on the, as old business, so I do need to do a motion on that?
Yeah, that's why
Okay.
she did that for me.
I
Okay.
second.
Okay.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
And then the
Cool.
next one?
And next one, I'll move the next one be to continue.
Okay, second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye, okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, Reen and Kathy did a great job on this USD management report. I would like a motion and a second to approve this and move it on.
I'll motion.
Second.
All in favor? Aye, okay, thank you very much. Okay, the next item is policy change for the plans for the future of overhead expenditures. Right now, we've got some requests for paperwork that the public wants. Okay. We are setting up I'd like a motion and a second for this when I get through talking about it. We are going to do this all electronic. We're setting up an electronic drop box, and the rules will be anybody that wants information out of the office will download a form, fill it out, sign it, date it, and drop it in the outside drop box on the office. There's no reason for anybody to bother our staff with this. Our staff is filled, they're booked to the hilt right now, all the time. We have a limited staff and a limited amount of time to have every day. There's no reason for anybody to go in the office to bother our staff to get a form or to drop a form off. That's why the outside drop box is there. And we'll have up to 30 days to provide that information in the electronic drop box. When that information is put in the electronic drop box, that person who requested it will get an email that you have this information you requested in your electronic drop box. And when you open that, ever who opens that, we will get a receipt saying you received this email. And you received the information you requested, subject closed, done with. We're doing this because we do have, like I say, we do have a limited amount of staff, a limited amount of time every day, and these two girls are just, they're busy all day. So I don't need them to be bothered, we don't need them to be bothered with something like this. So I'd like a motion and a second to change the policy for any information that anybody asks for.
Basically, a motion to go to the electronic delivery of the.
Electronic delivery, you download the form for the information you need off the internet, off our website, drop it in the drop box, in the mailbox outside. Don't go in and bother the
And
girls.
you'll receive it back.
And
Okay.
you'll receive it back within 30 days.
Okay, well then, yeah, I move that we institute the electronic drop box on the web. And we handle the public information that way. Yeah, then, now once it goes in that drop box, anybody can access it?
No.
No, just the person that
The
requested
person
it.
that
But
requested
does
it
it stay in
will
the drop
receive-
box? So if somebody requests the same thing,
It'll be there, and we can send it
so we don't have to put it in the drop box again, it'll
Right.
just resend another
We just
notice.
have
Right,
to
It's
resend
right.
an
it.
invitation to see it,
And we need to remind everybody that it'll be in the drop box. This information you receive is public information, but it's not, it is It should stay in the town.
What, Mark?
There was, yeah, I remember reading something like that.
Yeah, you can't share it with somebody that's not within our district or
Yeah,
town
you can't
site.
share this information.
Yeah,
That's not true.
it's public information, but
That's not true.
it's,
Public information for within the district?
yeah.
Yeah,
That's not true.
yeah, we checked all, checked the
That's
rules.
what the county told me.
Yeah,
But, you
we
know,
talked to the county, we talked to the lawyer,
Oh, okay.
you know, so it has to stay in the district. And anybody that is not an officer or work for the district can't go talk to people about the district business. Bottom line. It's not their business to
Yeah.
talk
Who
to.
said that?
it's a rule. If you, like the lawyer explained that if you are not a board member or a office staff member, you cannot represent yourself as.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Oh,
And you
yeah.
can't represent yourself as
Right.
belonging to the district.
Yeah, that I
Yeah,
get.
yeah.
Okay.
And that could be real serious real quick. So-
Okay, then I move that we, go to the electronic drop box and we handle that so we can minimize the amount of time. I was afraid for a while we were gonna have to.
Hire somebody else.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, because some of this
They
information-
include extra money in the budget.
That somebody is requesting is 12 years old.
Yeah,
You know, it's ridiculous.
okay.
So, okay. Have a second?
Second.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Okay, so passed. Okay, call to the, open call to the public. And you can remind you have 3 minutes.
Can I just ask a question? Who is this person? Mardan?
Mardian?
Mardian? I
They're,
haven't heard
they're
that.
organization that wants to build.
Wait, hold it, this is not a question and answer.
Oh, that's right.
Oh.
I'm sorry, I'm sorry, this is not a question and answer session.
Unfortunately, yeah, the open meeting laws don't allow us to do that.
Yeah.
I forgot.
Anybody to address the public?
I can answer your question.
I submitted a form and I'm waiting to be called.
I just asked, right now.
Are you calling on me?
I said, anybody to
Okay,
address
thank
the
you.
public.
I submitted a form. I was waiting to be called. I was trying to be appropriate.
Your time started.
Back in May at the Rural Water Association of Arizona Spring Conference, I learned 2 potentially ways to reduce our loan payment, made great connections, and met board members and presenters for the emergency planning and lead and copper seminars. I've been trying to share that information with you since then. Piggyback that to the countless emails that I have sent without response, 4 requests for meetings that have not been answered, and 18 questions remain unanswered since January. I am still waiting for an explanation of the balance in the reserve account, and that doesn't add up. To see the audit certificate from 2019, to inspect records subject to the open records law in Arizona, to obtain information which is not being provided as legally required. Access has been declined on 2 prearranged occasions. False information and false forms were provided instead. I have again been advised by the Ombudsman that this situation deserves and should have already had a complaint filed with the Attorney General's office. Because we do not have an attorney and I do not want to be responsible for having to hire one, I have not followed that advice. The board needs to blame no one but themselves if we wind up there. Supervisor Jean Bishop initiated the ARPA grant. The district provided the numbers she needed. Jean did the remainder of the work by herself to secure the passage without the support of the district. The board should have been there in full. The ARPA grant came up for a hearing and then a vote, and people should have been there. These are actions, like the above, are inactions of an irresponsible board. The district is not a member of the Rural Water Association of Arizona or the American Water Association. Why not? These agencies are created to support districts. Not taking advantage of these resources is another action or inaction of an irresponsible board. I have shared discreetly the town's perception that the board is corrupt. This has come to me from a variety of people. I've encouraged the board to become more legitimate by placing all seats on the ballot. Only 3 did so, and that does not improve the perception. Purposefully leaving a board seat vacant for over a year doesn't help with the suspicions of the corruption theory. If the board is not corrupt, it certainly is acting as if it is what I have heard on more than one occasion. I've shared this with you. I've suggested ways to turn this perception around. Yet I am the one concerned citizen who is coming up front directly to you and openly questioning irresponsible actions and being treated as an adversary. My schedule allows for until August 19th for the records and questions to be answered and open. If the irresponsibility continues, I will indeed be forced to file a complaint with the Attorney General. I am asking the board to begin to act responsibility, rise above its corrupt perception, and avoid having to deal with...
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like a motion and a second
I
to
will
adjourn the
submit
meeting.
this to be attached to the
Move we
minutes.
adjourn the meeting.
Meeting adjourned.
Second.
Second, thank you very much. Meeting adjourned. Kathy, do we need to sign any of this stuff?
Yeah, you know, I'll get with you guys on Monday. Is that
Okay, that's
okay
fine.
with the checks?
Okay, that's fine, yeah. Yeah, I'm on top.